Okay, so another animation here from Tomás Rosemblatt. Thank you, Thomas, for sending this in. Very cool. Let's have a look. Okay, very cool. So it's an anime fight scene, lots of crazy cuts, lots of crazy impact holds, and cool stuff. Let's see what we can see. So I think first off, I think you could probably push these bodies a little bit. Probably get his foot back a little more here as well. Just feels a little bit like he's a little bit off balance, especially because he's meant to be a bit of a fighter, so probably put him on balance over his feet there. This guy, I think, same thing. So I think you've got a clear line and way this wants to be. So probably tilt that a little more, get this hip up more, so that we've got kind of this shape in there. Maybe not as extreme as that. I've drawn it a little bit extreme, I think, as well, just while I'm here. Probably get this other arm up as well. It's just a little unclear now, especially this fist here. I think you want to definitely keep this foot down here. Maybe creep it forwards a bit later. Or, to be honest, his weight is such that he could just transfer onto this foot rather than having to really stretch it out. But it's kind of funny, so maybe that's what you're going for. I know some of these rigs can be a bit blocky, but I think you're getting kind of a similar angle on these, which is giving you a bit of an S shape here, something we want to avoid. So probably go for more of this. Yeah, that'll flow through the legs nicer as well. Very nice. If you've got this contrast in this guy here, then this will work a lot better. At the moment, you've kind of got an isolated chest motion going on here. So if this is further back over here and this is more, in the previous pose I'm talking about, then that allows you to then bring these hips forward, which will work, and then get this nice shape through here. Get his hips probably more over here. So we're getting more of this kind of shape. Really sell that he's just thrown this fist. Probably get this more. Yeah, I probably want to see his fist, to be honest, this fist that's missed. I think that would be cooler. And then, you've got this clear that way between them, and I think that would be a lot more successful. So if we're going that way, then probably want to go something similar to what you've got here. I quite like this. I think his hips could be down a little more. Maybe not this extreme, but I think this also tells me that probably want to hang this back a little more just to get that flow a bit nicer through there, especially because this is a big antic for this big kick. Definitely want this in a clearer silhouette. You want to see 1, 2, 3 of the leg. That's a general rule for all limbs on pretty much every frame, I think. Want to get 1, 2, 3. I think you want to probably get a bit more of a flow through there as well. And just see the back arm. You'll probably hang this back a little more. Really get that impact on the next frame, especially with the camera move. So this would probably be a bit further back. I think this pose is working really nicely. Really like that line through the body. Super successful. Only thing that doesn't really work for me is these arms. I'm not really buying them. They're a little broken. Probably try to simplify and get something more like this. Just a nice flow through the arms. And I like this, how you're going from this kind of shape. I think you can push it a bit more. God, what am I drawing here? More of a flow through that leg, and then also the head here, I think shouldn't be leading down there. Really drag that. This is still nice here. And then this pose is super nice. Love it. I think there's contrasting things happening here. I wouldn't have his leg kick up here because it looks like he's kicking up as he's punching down. I'd just have the leg shoot out from over here. So have it whoosh, that way. And then that'll also give you some opportunity to have that leg push off more, which will give you slightly more believable body mechanics. This is very broken. Again, just getting that curve through the spine. Alright, tracking the head. I know it's a moving camera, but it's really not helping that the arc of the head is a little too crazy as well. So we've kind of got a motion that goes up and then down and then over here and then out and then round. I think really you could probably just get that much simpler. So through here, probably hold it back, don't have that slam down, dragging that up as the body unwinds, which is nice. I'd have the body unwind to sort of this kind of reversal into this antic, probably also keep the head more in this space. So that whole pose over this way, get it more over that knee. I'd definitely have the camera kind of much more central here so that we're with him, winding up a big antic pose, whatever the pose is you have here. Because at the moment, the headspace is over here, and then it's over here, and then it's back here, and then it's over here again. Really track that so that we have pretty much a motion here up to maybe here, and then we start to zoom in to here. Maybe a little antic back if you want it. This would be a lot clearer. At the moment, it's a little crazy. I think if you want to do this, you want, okay, this is broken. So probably just get it a little less broken. I like that the hips are up this way. You could probably get this hip up more. Sorry if this is not clear. It's quite a difficult one. And then just make sure there's that nice C between them. All through here, a nice reverse into a huge if he's punching him, that is, you know, get a big, huge reversal from him. And then there's really no shape change through here, so probably get similar to what you have now. That can work all the way down into here. If he's going for the knee, probably antic, so that it's clear that he's going to do that. Really almost want to shing, knee. And then definitely lead with the body here. Maybe not quite that crazy, and really get that slam into his knee. Oh. So he's putting his whole weight into it, getting that reversal in there. This pose then becomes much clearer as well because you've just got head, knee. So that will help a lot with the clarity. Then you've given yourself somewhere to go, so coming down from that pose into something more like this. Kind of unwinding this, I think, would be nice. I do really like this pose. Eventually into something a bit more like that. I think with these cameras, you really want to concentrate on what you're focusing on. If you look at successful Sakuga from anime, then they're really just controlling screen space. If you're focusing on something, it's the thing that moves the least. So if you want to focus on the head, stick the camera on that, move everything else around it almost, and keep that as stable as possible. Like here, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be focusing on at all because it's the background that doesn't move the most. So that would infer that the background is what we should be focusing on. Really like that effect you've got there. Really cool. When he catches his weight, really put that out there. Really, because he's not only falling that way, he's kind of been pushed back from the force that way. So he really needs to be stable between these feet here. And then as this is your last frame, I think it's worth talking about get this so that it's not an S shape. At the moment, we've kind of got an S shape going on. So get that nice C. A lack of flow here. We're kind of losing this part of the arm. It feels like all just one part, but then this bit is broken. Probably want your arm straight. So I'd maybe see if there's a way that you can get that. All right, let's work on this. So arm higher. So then face exposed. This can follow this nice pose that you got here. And I think if you're doing an uppercut, probably want something a bit more like this. Having the chest like that gets the head a bit further back, allows you to straighten this arm, much clearer pose, much nicer. Flow through the arms here. Probably have something a bit more like this on this arm. I think that will flow a bit nicer. Let's have a quick look at the other guy, see if there's any massive glaring issues. I think it's going to be much of the same. One thing I did want to point out, this punch down, he very much hits a spot here. And it feels like he hits something, which is why he's then slamming through. But I feel like it should feel like a nice anime exaggeration moment. So I think you really want to ease into this as if it suddenly hits slow motion and not just pivot at the hips as well. So probably get this back a bit. And I'd also probably still be in more of a reversal, if possible. Really sell that fist as well. That leg might be a bit too much, but I do think it balances the pose a little more and allows you to get that flow through there. But ease into this and then crash down through this. There's not enough contrast between these poses for me. It's only in the timing, but I think you want that contrast in the posing as well, which will really help. But yeah, and I guess apply the notes that I said to this with the spine shape and the camera work to the other guy. Here you can see that's a little bit too broken, at least in the center here, so try and even that out a bit. But to be honest, if he's punching him back, I don't think this is the right pose for him. I think he wants to be more of this. And then he can come down as he kind of drunkenly falls or staggers forward into the knee. When you've got this and this, it's really going to crash down if you get both at the same time. Whoa. And this is cool, and just make sure that that spine is nice and clean. And then make sure that you're countering those hips properly with the chest. So probably get them back here so that your head space doesn't move too much back and forth, which will also help because this won't feel as awkward because they've kind of got a bit of distance between them, so you can really get this leg extended. I think this is a nice pose. I like the flow. I think you could, push that a little more like we said with the others. And then I really want to see this twist. It feels like he's doing this big wind up for a twist and it never happens. And I kind of wish it did. I wish we saw the back of his head and whatever that twist is lining up for. Because then I feel that this would then be fine to come out of that twist back into this. But yeah, great work, man. Thanks a lot for sharing it.